Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unravel and Uplift. It's another fabulous Wednesday. For those of you that know us, welcome back. For those that are new, thanks for joining us. Here we unravel the messy, the complicated, the sometimes uncomfortable parts of middle life. And then we uplift each other with practical tools, fresh perspectives, and the reminder that you are never going to figure this out alone.
And today feels a little different. Feels a little less like a new episode and more like a conversation we wanted to have with our friends.
Yes, because several months ago, for those who have been with us, we launched our podcast. And our first two episodes were all about challenging ourselves and challenging all of you to get out of your comfort zone. We talked about the goals that we were going to chase, the dreams we were finally going to stop putting off, and we encouraged everyone to do it before you're ready. And now we thought it would be a good time to check in as we wrap up summer and see where you are with those goals. Not because we're going to judge you. No judging here. Actually, it's quite the opposite.
Honestly, I think we're also just checking in on ourselves too.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah. Because if we're being completely honest, keeping track of ourselves is a little bit hard most days. And there's still a lot of things on our list that haven't happened. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise to start. Raise your hand if you printed the workbook. I'm going to put my little hand up.
Mm-hmm.
Started strong. And then, guess what? Life happened. Then I'd say, welcome. You're in really good company because, life does get in the way.
It does. Yeah.
It has that kind of weird predictability of just scooting on in there and putting all of this stuff that we intend on doing to the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
James Clear said, we do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. Meaning, if your goals disappeared, it isn't because you aren't capable of achieving them. It's because your life beat your system. It kind of got in the way and threw you off track. So I caught myself thinking something that I bet a lot of other women out there listening have thought, maybe next year, maybe next month, maybe next week.
Yeah. Eek. Yeah. That little phrase is sneaky, right? Like maybe next year, maybe after summer, maybe when the kids are older, maybe when I lose 10 pounds, maybe when I feel more confident.
And before we know it, we've postponed ourselves again and again and again.
Yeah. So why do we do this? So let's break it down. Let's unravel it. As we talked about, I don't think women give up on their dreams. I think that we get interrupted, right? Like those pauses that you just talked about.
We get interrupted by life.
Yeah.
Work, family, kids, parents, unexpected bills, health issues, soccer practice, laundry, summer vacations, back to school. The list never ends. I feel like it's a mental load.
Mm-hmm. And there's lots of reasons. And I don't want to call them excuses because they are valid, but there's a lot of things we allow to get in the way. So, and life doesn't just say, hey, can I just ask politely and, come on in? It is like a cannonball. It comes right in there and messes up your whole plan, So then your goals get quietly moved to the bottom of the list. And it's not because they stop mattering. It's because everyone else or every other thing seemed more urgent at that time. Yeah. So that's a problem.
And you know what I've realized? Women are incredibly good at keeping promises to everyone except for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true. I think we're all guilty of that, and if you promised, if there's things we sign up for in life, and if you promised your best friend, that you would help her move, you'd be there. If you told your boss you were going to be there for a project, you'd probably get that done. If your child needs something, you pull all stops and you make sure that's accomplished. But what's something that we promise ourselves, somehow that becomes negotiable. And why is that?
So there's like psychology behind this. So a psychologist, Dr. Julie Smith, talks about how often we mistake discomfort for danger. We think this feels scary, so our brain says, better not. When really, nothing is wrong. You're just growing. It's like that first day at a new job, or walking into a party when you don't know anyone there, or recording your first podcast. That unknown triggers something in us.
Yeah.
To just almost throw us off course.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we had waited until we felt completely comfortable to launch this podcast, we'd still be talking about it and not recording it. And even today, you can hearing our voices, we'll have these blunders, we'll have these mess ups. I mean, we are still learning. We are still growing.
We're still human.
Yeah, we're still, exactly. That's a good point.
So can I share something I've noticed over the last few years as a coach? It honestly breaks my heart sometimes. I've sat across from so many incredible women, like they're smart, capable, compassionate, successful by every measure. And I'll ask them a simple question. What do you want? Do you know what happens next?
Well, I mean, having been one of your clients, I do know what happens next. It becomes like a lockup. It becomes about everybody else. Yeah.
Like just the silence.
Yeah.
Sometimes really long silence. And as a coach, silence is great because that's where the aha moments happen. That's where the transformation, that growth happens. But I think a lot of the time the silence isn't there because people don't have the dreams. It's because it's been so long since they've had that question asked.
Yeah.
And they become experts almost at answering, well, first I need to figure out what everyone else needs from me. What else have I got on my plate that I need to deal with first? Like, what does my family need? What does my boss need? What do my kids need? My aging parents? It's challenging, right? Because, they can answer those questions in a heartbeat. But when it comes to themselves, it's almost like they've forgotten that language.
Yeah.
I remember one woman in particular, she looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, I honestly don't know anymore. And again, not because she wasn't ambitious, not because she wasn't passionate, but she'd just become everything to everyone else.
That makes me sad.
And somewhere along the way, she forgot to keep checking in on herself and didn't have that time.
Yeah.
And I think that's where so many of us fail, in that we don't prioritize ourselves. We almost feel guilty for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's important when I think about our episode about coaching, where that's forward thinking. And it is easy to lose sight of what's important to you because you're thinking about, I got to do this for my kids and I got to do this for my career. And then you just become an afterthought to yourself. And that's really a shame.
And we've talked about in previous episodes, I think, that mental load as well, that when you have so much going on in that mental load, how do you even factor in prioritizing yourself?
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about prepping for this episode, and thinking about that lesson that you had in coaching, I think there's a lot of us who are listening to this now, or even hearing our own words, or you're sitting in traffic, listening to this podcast, and you're thinking, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, cause that even hits me. But to hear you say that, I'm like, you're right. We so often put everybody else first.
But you want to know what the beautiful part of this is that you don't have to know the entire plan today. Sometimes rediscovering yourself starts with a much smaller question. Not what do I want to do with the rest of my life, but simply what lights me up? What have I missed? What fills my cup? What have I been putting off because of all of these other things getting in the way? The answers are still there. It just might take a little bit more digging around.
And
exploring.
And maybe we don't need to reinvent ourselves, right? Like, I think there's always this quest to reinvent ourselves, or think that you have to always have something going on. Maybe we just need a reminder to ourselves that there are other women listening who need to hear this today too. That there's other ways that we can get to our goals and get, I guess, back on track, right? Yeah.
So there's another thing I think we do. We love a fresh start.
Yes.
Right?
We love a fresh start. Yes.
Like January comes, fresh start. Mondays, fresh start.
Yes.
Another birthday. Woo! Another fresh start. Hey, how about we change the narrative on this?
Yeah.
Why don't we think about September?
Right.
Fresh start.
Yeah.
Middle of the month, fresh start. I think we're kind of wired to think that way, that, it has to be the first of a month, or it has to be something that's
a milestone.
Yeah.
And behavior, when we were studying for this podcast and researching, that there is research being done that it's found that people naturally attach motivation to milestones, right? But that's the problem. Once you get that fresh start, that feeling can start to fade. And many people fail because they attach those moments to milestones. So
we actually don't need a January.
Yeah.
Well, we do need a January, but we don't need a January to start the goal. Sorry, I'm not we're taking away
Midwest, we may not need a January. I could completely write off those 30 days.
Taking away all of our months now. But really, we don't need these milestones. You know, we actually just need to make your next decision to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be the 7th.
Yep.
You know, it can be 3:00 in the afternoon that you decide you're doing that.
Yeah.
But it's just having that impetus, I think, to do it.
Yeah, just to start.
And committing to it. Yeah.
So we're going to introduce a new concept, and it's going to sound really cringy, but it's called the goal graveyard. I feel like some thunder should crack right now.
Yeah, I do. I think we need some
graveyard.
Yeah. What do they call it? Pathetic fallacy, isn't it? The stuff that creates that environment.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, we need that right now. Yeah.
So it's a little depressing, or at least it sounds like it is. Yeah. But this is where all of our dreams
go to die.
Are abandoned. Yes, they go to die. It's like the land of misfit toys. If you have watched a little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like it's this island where all your dreams go, right? And it was that business idea. It was guitar lessons. It was that race you were going to run. It was that healthier lifestyle. It was that trip you wanted to take. And like, why do all those things go there? You know,
it's and goal graveyard.
Yeah. The side hustle. I mean, the book you wanted to write, the new career. I guess what we're here to say, if they're in the goal graveyard or they're on this, island, that they're not dead. They're just waiting for you to revisit them.
Yeah. I really love that.
Yeah.
I love that they're waiting, not judging, just waiting.
Yeah. So now we're going to rewind this a little bit. If you were with us from the beginning, we hope you were. If not, lucky for you.
You get to go back.
You can go back. You can listen to all those episodes, but
in our podcast graveyard.
Yeah. Clear. Okay. Yes. Okay. So if you remember our first episode, we talked about not closing the book. So you're going to hear that phrase from us time and time again. And that was a powerful moment in our podcast. And I think for people to realize how dreams can fall to the wayside, right?
Yeah.
And so we were thinking about this episode and this week, and then maybe you didn't close the book on your goals and ambitions. Yeah. Maybe life just put a bookmark in it, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's time to pick it back up and pick up where you left off.
Yeah. So the important question here is, how do we do that without trying to change our entire lives overnight?
Yeah. I think we stop asking, how do I catch up, and start asking, what's my next page? So we're going to talk to you about the reset method. So,
okay, instead of reset, let's make this conversational. So R, let's revisit the goal.
Yeah.
E, let's edit it. I always love a good iteration. S, let's start smaller.
Yeah, so I like that one.
It.
Yeah. Oh, yes, microdose. There you go. If microdose was a drinking game on our podcast, everybody would be drunk because we love to microdose on this podcast. But I think make it smaller sometimes helps because we've all been in that situation where the list seems so long and the task seems so big. And in episode 1 and 2, we talked about eating the elephant, right? Like the goal looks...
Sorry, I laugh every time with eating the elephant.
The goal looks so big that how do we even start?
Yeah.
So make it smaller so then you feel better about the progress. Yeah.
Expect imperfect. Like we're human.
Yeah, that was E.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. See, look.
So this is imperfect right here.
Expect imperfect.
It. Yeah. When you visit us at Unravel and Uplift, please expect the imperfect.
T, take one step today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another tool that we have for you, and you can find it on our webpage, it's on Pinterest, is we had a free workbook to align with your goals. So
go find it.
Go find that. Yeah.
And it's still on there.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a report card. It's not proof that you failed.
But it's simply where you can have that new chapter, next chapter.
Yeah.
Next chapter begin.
Yeah.
Where you take that bookmark out and pick up the next chapter of the book.
Right. So if we're going to get started, if we're going to try to get this back on track, this is what we're going to challenge you with this week. We're going to talk about, please revisit the reset method. Please get yourself that workbook and then make that happen. Bring that to life.
Have no judgment. Okay. No one is judging you. It's okay to put something aside and then pick it back up again.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is probably somewhere like in my laptop bag. I'm going to be totally honest, I'm going to have to look for that. But open it up, read what you wrote. Don't critique it, just notice it. Some goals may still fit, some won't, and that's okay. Growth changes us. So like iterate it, feel free to go ahead and like cross bits out and add bits in.
Yep.
Life happens, life moves us forward, and goals are there to flex and move with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you've already accomplished some of it.
Yeah, good for you.
And you didn't stop to celebrate it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that.
And please do that.
Yeah, celebrate yourself.
Yeah. And as women, we've talked about this, we're terrible at celebrating ourselves, right? We get humble, we hit one milestone, and we immediately, try to move to the finish line, so take that time to enjoy it along the way. And then we want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what still excites me? What no longer fits? And what's one tiny step I can make this week? Not next month, this week.
So this week's challenge is not to finish the goal. It's simply to turn one more page.
Yeah. Let's just rewrite it. I call it flip the script.
Yeah.
Let's figure out how we can get this accomplished. How do we cross something off?
That is a Gen term, actually. You do use that a lot.
Flip the script.
Yeah.
So how do we cross one thing off? How do we add something new? Change the timeline, dream a bigger dream, or maybe a smaller dream that's a little bit more achievable for you. But just don't put the book back on the shelf, right? Just don't give up on yourself. So
yeah, maybe you're exactly where you need to be. I think that's important to bear in mind. Not because everything went according to plan, but because life gave you experiences that you couldn't control and you hadn't planned for.
Right. And maybe that woman that you wanted to become, or man, they didn't disappear. They just got busy.
Yeah.
Life happens, right?
Like you're still there.
Yeah.
And it's waiting for you to show up. That goal is waiting, and it doesn't have to be perfect and not all at once. It can just be one page at a time, or a chapter or a section of a chapter,
yeah, baby steps.
Yeah. Literally chunk this as you need to.
Yeah. So if today's conversation resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you. The community on Facebook has been very active, or on our Instagram. So head over there. We're here to support you, and tell us, what page are you on? Why are you stuck? And if you still have our free workbook, dust it off. Or if you don't, please download it today. And this isn't about proving, that you followed through to this task perfectly. It's about giving yourself permission to begin again.
Yeah.
And again, you can still be that person you want to become. That person didn't disappear. They just got busy.
Do you know what I'd like to see? Send us photos of you with the workbook.
Ooh.
Tag us or send us a message. We'd love to celebrate your next step with you. I love a good old photo. I'm awful at taking them, but I do love a good photo.
Yeah. Well, it's accountability.
Yeah, it is. So if this episode encouraged you, please share it with a friend who might also need this reset or a little reminder too. And don't forget to follow Unravel and Uplift wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave a 5-star review for us. Every review helps another woman discover that she's not alone on this journey.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us again today.
See you next time.
Yeah, when we unravel and uplift
together. Bye, guys.